This is the story of what happened to me just 2 nights ago. I live alone in a one-bedroom apartment. It was getting late and I decided to take a nice relaxing bath before going to bed. I needed to go to the toilet first. When I lifted the lid of the toilet, I thought I saw something in toilet bowl. It looked like the shadow of a person's head. It took a few seconds for my eyes to adjust to the dim light. I realized it was the head of an old woman. Her eyes were closed and her hair was spread out and hanging over the sides of the toilet bowl like seaweed. At first, I was too shocked to do anything. I thought my eyes were playing tricks on me. I just stood there in my underwear staring down at it. How could anyone fit inside a toilet bowl? Was it a severed head? Was it a Halloween prop? All of a sudden, the woman's eyes opened wide and she stared up at me. I was horrified. In shock, I slammed down the toilet lid. I could hear a gurgling sound coming from under the lid. It sounded like muffled laughter. In a panic, I grabbed basins, brushes, and shampoo bottles and plied them on top of the toilet lid, trying to keep it trapped. Then I ran out of the bathroom and closed the door. I heard noises from the other side of the bathroom door. It sounded like it was bumping against the toilet lid. I didn't know what it was, but I knew it wasn't human. I was so scared that I ran out of the apartment wearing just my t-shirt and underpants. I ran downstairs, got a taxi, and raced over to the home of my female friend who lived nearby. I told her what I had seen, but she didn't seem to believe me. When I calmed down, I even began to question myself. I stayed with her for a few hours, but around midnight, I decided to go back to my apartment and I asked her to come with me. When I turned the key in the lock and opened the door, the apartment seemed quiet and nothing was out of place. My friend was curious to see what had scared me. She opened the door of the bathroom. Everything was silent. All of the things I had piled on the toilet lid had fallen on the floor. My friend lifted the toilet seat and peered inside. There was nothing there. No woman. Not even a stray hair. She shut the lid again. I was still creeped out, so I asked my friend to stay for a while, just in case. Then I noticed something nasty. It made me sick to my stomach. Protruding from under the rim of the toilet were some tufts of long, wet hair. My friend noticed them too. She reached out cautiously and opened the lid of the toilet. The old woman's face was there, staring up at her. She opened her mouth and began gnashing her teeth. In a high-pitched voice, she started laughing. As she laughed, her wrinkled skin shook and jiggled. Her black hair shifted and moved like hundreds of tiny snakes. My friend let out a scream and slammed the lid shut. Holding it down with one hand, she reached out and pulled the lever with her other hand. There was a swirl of water, and the jarring laughter was drowned out by the sound of the toilet flushing. We waited, afraid to breathe. The flushing sound stopped and the water started trickling back into the cistern. My friend opened the lid again. The toilet bowl was empty. We were both shaking. She left the lid open and told me not to close it, ever. My friend decided to go home, leaving me alone in the apartment. I slept in the hallway outside the toilet, clutching a knife. The next day, I unscrewed the toilet lid and took it off. Ever since then, I have been too afraid to go to the toilet. I am terrified that I will sit down on the bowl to do my business, and when I am finished, I will look down and see that woman's gnarled and wrinkled face staring up at me.